episode 11. So I've been taking a stroll in this cold weather. It's awesome. Just love the cold. The only reason I like the cold is because spirits do not like cold. Because they're bitches. But they don't like cold. So as I walk, I'm able to speak more freely because of the cold. Because a lot of people should watch when they speak and ask, is there something there to hurt? Especially when you go and curse, right, each other with your words. You gotta watch. So in this time, it's about revealing, right, in this revelations. So, and the First Nations as well too, the two thoughts, putting them together, saying that the fires and no seals. So when I explain that a little bit in this one. So in this medicine wheel, you have these four colors. You have the white, yellow, that's the north, and then south, you have the black and the red, and that's the south. So, in the south, you have on the left the black. That one is what I call Eden. And within that Garden of Eden was the beginning of that story. You know that story. There. It began there, that story. And that region. Okay? So, in the bottom right, the red, you have Canaan. That was the land promised. The promised land. Because when Mountain and Moses was told, go there. And he looked, he says, there's over there, not here. He's like, oh. So, on the north, right, the king of the north, and then you have the king of the south. But the king of the north lived in this area. And this was Sodom and Gomorrah. On the left was Sodom. On the right was Gomorrah. Those were the two nations that were destroyed because of their ways that reached. And all of a sudden there's this like, need to do something. So I'm going to tell a story. Story time. So grandmother knocked on Misaki Jack's door. He opens the door. He's like, yes. He's like, grandmother, wow. You walked all this way. He's like, yes. He's like, what did the children do? Have a seat. I'll bring out some goodies, some tea. So, in the end, it's like you gotta go talk to your children. The king of the north, the brat. It's like, okay, I shall. So whatever. and he takes his to his scapulas. It's like I'm gonna visit a bit, and I'll let them take care of it. As he knew what was happening. It's not rocket science. I just waited until grandmother complained. So he goes to Abraham, Sarah. So he could only go there when that womb was old. And so he knew at this time as well they were probably doing things to their bodies that they shouldn't. Like put their brother inside there, start eating them. So these two angels, scapulas, they went and judged, destroyed, and then they froze. So that salt, that represented that snow, that ice. So a birth pains, right? So imagine Mother Nature when it's finally time to just destroy. So you have that pain, blood, those volcanoes, that blood, that water, right? It's like it's all symbolic, but it's real within those stories. I said, the songs. So they just froze it and just said, for a time, for this time, why we reveal this story, because it's going to melt. So these bunyawak, these 1%, know that. Because they heard a story. And I'll tell you that story that they heard. It's like there's knowledge that's not shared with everybody. You can't think it's like, oh yeah, we know everything. It's like, you know nothing. That's the sad part. Is people are set up to fail. And everything that I do is just Mother Nature saying, you need to tell them what's going on. You need to tell the story. It's like, all right. And so the ones who begin to clean their bodies, because my next one I'm just going to post about food and say what to do and everything I'm talking about. Now it's just like, just let them do it. But you're going to begin to hear a story. And the interesting part is, you've heard the story when they've become focused and they run. Run towards one thought, not running from something. Preparing. Working as one, right? Because a lot of people right now, they're just sleeping. Only because of the food that they eat. Because they're almost mentally unstable because of the food. And it's all planned and it's all on purpose. To control the people, you control their food. And so that's why I harp on this food and how in one season we'll grow our own food. And we'll have our own nutrition and we'll be able to have these children who work on gifts called you, the 8th generation. So there's King of the North. That's actually where the Munyawak come from. That's their father in the Bible. It's like those Cain, his father, that's where he comes from, that place. So now it's just revealing, it's just like more and pulling back the zoom button. And understanding how and why and how they're different, these Munyawak from us. First Nations, men, you, 8th generation. And why the characteristics of them are so different. When you understand these people from Sodom and Gomorrah, that's Atlantis. That's the land of white people. The only difference between those two, one had black hair, one have blonde. And there's beautiful colors like red. There's this genetics. In the end, when you understand genetics, you'll understand who we are, or they are too. The differences in us and how we can actually benefit from learning the difference between of who we are. And unfortunately, some will just not be able to like you only because of genetics. Like the KKK out there, that hate that's been bred into them, they can't go around and just like, hey bro, let's be friends. They can't. But there's some out there who can. It's like they look at you and they don't see your color. And I've met those people in my journey. I just like, this guy's fucking more brown than my brothers. And that was from the inside. And I just thought was cool. And that's where that prophecy comes in here. Those ones who can love and those ones who can't, and the ones who try, eventually nature will just show you and reveal that for you. So don't go and try to be, oh, I think this person is just like, let nature do it for you. These people, unfortunately, will not be able to stop nature's treatment of them. Just some people you can never ever put information, but some people will follow the crowd just because they know where the safety is. Because it's instinct, right? So the ones in the front, those, believed right away because they came to you. And it's just like, cool. These ones are just like, probably a lot of church in them because that faith and the belief. And these people who pray, right? Or that family who is just poor and they live paycheck to paycheck all the time, but that was faith. It's like you had to believe you were going to do that. And those people who do that, bravo. It's like you have faith. And that's what it is about believing. Brother Branham, when he said only believe, it's like, he wasn't fucking lying to you. Fucking believe, you cunts. Believe. Believe that you're not a piece of shit and get off the floor and stop drinking. Quit polluting your body and stop hurting yourself and believe. Because we need you right now. Brothers, 8th generation. We need each other. Only because of information. This journey that I take every day, go drink that water. I love it. And I don't love it at the same time. Because every day I'm tormented with knowledge. And it's just like, I don't want to be the only one to know. It's just like, well, lead them to it. Lead them to the water. And that's all it is that water. When you start drinking it, and the other 25% is just food. But the 75% will align the other 25%. It will call for it. And all of a sudden your body will say, I need this too. Only because your body spoke, because it's alive. But you eat all this dead food expecting miracles from it. These people who grew up in church, that faith that you have is like, you're going to be the healers in the community because of that faith. Because they need people to heal in the beginning, really fast. Guess what? This boy who thought it was kokom thought, imagine having to leave my kokom. That would be the worst thing. The cool part is though, if you could activate those gifts right away at healing gifts. Get them working. You could heal your people who have disabilities yourselves. Because I want to ensure that not one First Nation person is left on this journey. The Anishinaabe people that they know is coming. This is it. But I say give this to your 8th generation. Your 7th, listen, yes, if you can. But it'll be harder for you because life always gets in the way. Bills, like those cycles. Your phone bill. It's like you need to pay your power. They put you in this debt. They put you in this cycle. They put you in this thing where it's like, would you rather be born or would you rather just have to do it tomorrow and not be ready? See? But there will be some who will just be like, I'll do it. I'll take this challenge. And those ones on the street, help them take that challenge. Make a way for them to come home to take the challenge because that's your leader. To leave him in the cold is to leave your gifted in the insane asylums where the Bunyawa put theirs. All of a sudden their kids start hearing the truth. Oh, they're crazy. They don't want to go to college. They want to be this hippie. Those drugs started waking them up. These hippie kids. They weren't crazy, they were waking up. But it didn't fall within their standards that they created for themselves. The system that they locked themselves in. This system. You say, what's the mark of the beast? It's like, you're in it. Get out of it. Before you cling to something that's going to kill you. These 8th generation, they're going to just be different. The information, the ones who believe. I'm just going to keep talking. February 1st, we'll do a challenge. And this challenge will just enlighten and awaken. And people out there will have gifts that they did not have before. Only because they took a challenge. These gifts are not rocket science. But the problem is, though, the way that they're so easy to get for some of these ones who are paying. If you started eating really good, say if you went to jail and there was a jail that started feeding you good, and all of a sudden your gift would start coming alive. And then all of a sudden you start becoming this great person in jail. And then all of a sudden you go back into the community and then you start drinking or something. That spirit, and all of a sudden you become the negative of it. But those spirits could use that body, that gift, when you start introducing those negative spirits into it. And that's why I say you have to stop the alcohol. The ones who want to do this, the ones who want to change their life. Because this journey is going to change your life, whether you like it or not. And the ones who don't want to do it, don't. You're not meant for this one. Because it's for paying people. This is a way out to stop that cycle that you're stuck in, called the weekend. But that's you that I'm talking to. I'm not saying, oh, this is bad. I'm just saying that's a good thing. Because all that stuff that you did was your pain. It was meant for you. It wasn't there to, because it's just like, oh, just circumstance. It was on purpose. That pain was meant for you. for the journey that you're going to want to, only because you decided to want to change. So now I want to start introducing you to the food, the live foods, and how water and live water and the treatment of water and how you have a bath. It's like I haven't had a bath in a long time. It's and it's strange, right? But it's like if you drink it and then you're constantly having a bath and something, it's like Mother Nature after a while gets upset. So it's like, but the thing though, when you start eating food that's alive, it's like your body is not as dirty as people who eat food that's just this cesspool, and it's like, is a difference. But nonetheless, live foods, it's going to wake up those gifts. And for these journeyers, a forced journey, it's like you can't take nothing, good, walk. It's a time of gifts. And these people who were governed and trained all their life, it's like, step up please. Pain, step up please. Only because these youth who want to just be able to try something different, a 1-1 challenge. And all it is just a certain way that you eat. And then every day, you drink this live water. And at the end of the journey, you'll be walking and you'll just understand more. And all of a sudden you'll feel like a jolt, like someone just picked you up and started walking you, and you're just like, oh shit. It's like, this walking is really easy. It's just like, yes. And so some days it's like, it's easy, but it's long though, because it's like trying to do it on your own, and like it's hard. After a while, it's like I don't know. But that's what I want to explain to you, because it's like and not to do it fast. Because if you were to do it faster, like a really rush, it's like your leg is going to stop working on the right, and it bothers your self-esteem. And this is not a time for self-esteem to be bothered. So it's about doing it slow and taking that one journey, that long journey in the morning, for those 3 sips, and then go back. And then having weed the whole time and listening to music. It's like there'll be a track that I want everybody to listen to. It'll be there. We call it 8th Fire. But the thing is though, I want to get in sync with you. When you understand how energy works, when you understand how this universe works, when you understand how your voice works, when you understand how waves work, we can become in sync through music. Because music changes how you feel. It could save you. Just having that in the background while you work, it disrupts the room, but it creates the room for you. Like, music should always be in the background, everything you do. When I walk, music's blaring in my ears. It's probably not good for my ears, but I love music nonetheless. But this journey, it just begins in our stomach. And then I'll start revealing more of how our stomach is so important, and how it's like the universe of our soul, of everything that we are. It's quite amazing.